today. From NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. It's a special Christmas Day edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
Pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Tennessee Titans and the Houston Texans. And he takes this near the 25, just a little past there, call it the 26. So here are the Titans now for their first drive. And at quarterback from the University of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
Just 2 weeks left in the regular season, so not many opportunities left. But I've got to tell you, I think he's had an MVP type of a season, and I just hope that everyone who votes doesn't go to sleep and already have their ballots cast.
I think there are a couple others in the national media who feel that way, too. You and I have been discussing this race since the calendar hit December, as have many others, but I think it's going to take 8 big quarters for him to truly have consideration. First carry now for the former Badger, Jonathan Taylor. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
It's a gain of 10. And the Titans first down.
They run with Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor, the ball carrier.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
Justin Herbert looking to throw on second down. He's going to walk. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. A big play that time for the Titans. 42 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a timeout being called as there's an injured Titan down on the field. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. On second down now. It's Taylor. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number.
And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Jonathan Taylor, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Titans take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. And this is good. Our score, 7-0 Tennessee. That time a 6-play drive. And it was kept. Off by a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that told me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And all the way inside the 25 before he's out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run. 52 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Able to hit his target, Lamb. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
They'll run on 1st down. Cummins. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. People always talk about one of his biggest strengths running the football, vision, and he found the spot there, went into the end zone.
You're exactly right about that. It wasn't just the vision, right? Once he saw the gap, decisiveness, made up his mind, and about the power to finish the play. Not only did he get good blocking, he created his own space as well.
It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So that drive, 6 plays, 75 yards. And it's capped off by a 13-yard touchdown run. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Lane opens here. He's past the 30.
The Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll be down deep into Houston territory.
A gain of
a big play that time for the Titans. And even 50 yards. Herbert operating from the red zone. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing again. Herbert. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown.
To number 86.
From 19 yards away. And the Titans have taken the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this carries into the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25.
So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. The partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think
under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The quarterback taken down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
And tatter, so sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
His second catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first. And it'll bring up third down now.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Out of the gun now on third down. And that is incomplete.
Intended for number 84. Incomplete.
The Texans send the on a punt for the first time this afternoon. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
And that hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football as they've got it second down and 11. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with third and 11.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Number 83.
That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Here's Taylor. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. The last run got 9. That leaves him with second and a yard. Taylor. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Jonathan Taylor with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Takes this about 5 yards deep. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is. pass, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need one. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
27, the ball carrier.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
And quick throw here, that's complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a first down on that last catch as well.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And they give this time to the tailback. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And that might be Titan football. It is.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. Back to Taylor on first down. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That's a first down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And he put up a good fight, but he's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Down to the 25. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Going to throw on third down with Herbert. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Pass interference. Defense.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. So they go with the pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts, passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball on a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Passer, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again. Herbert, he's going to try and go deep again. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
Herbert. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Number 83. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Titans are able to extend their lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. This will make it into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. So we've reached halftime here on Christmas Day. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. Happy holidays to you all at home as we take you around the NFL on this 25th day of December. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. And it's the Dolphins who are out in front in the second quarter. The Dolphins seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Next, we'll take the trip north to the Steel City to check on the Steelers at home in Pittsburgh. And they've got the lead over the visiting Denver Broncos. The Steelers trying to hold on and claim victory. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And that game all even as they host the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gott and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. Fields it in the middle of the end zone, and the half will begin with a touchback. Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. On first down, Cummins. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They'll keep it on the ground. Cummins. And this Tennessee defense for the second straight play gets him behind the line. They're not messing around. 2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
2nd and 12 now at the 44-yard line.
The 44-yard line.
They'll try the left side. Cummins, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
It's now 3rd and 13.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the 1st down.
It's 4th down.
If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. The last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6.
It's a pickup of 6.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll try the air now with Herbert. It's caught inside the 25.
Herbert's
He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
31 yards.
Frankly, I don't know that this defense knows what to do anymore. Just look at their body language out there. The passing game has absolutely been relentless throughout.
On 1st down, it's Herbert. His throw caught right around the 6. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there, because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice game.
Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1. They'll look to run with Taylor. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a nice example of good team defense right there. Ball was snapped at the 1-yard line. They knocked him back and caused a loss. But you notice they were trying to find any type of a gap to run through. Wasn't one available, and they stuffed him.
And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. It's the fullback hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And this Titans offense continues to pour it on. Well, nothing complicated about that. That's old school power football.
And effective. And that's the key to everything, right? Sometimes we try and do too many things. Just hand it to the big guy and let him go forward.
And he knocks it through. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
12 yards there and a first down.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Back now in Houston, and this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
10 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is going to have the Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. And this one quickly to Lamb. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 yards there, first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there, keeps the sticks moving.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Texans are in for 6.
Well, it's been a tough day, but they finally were able to get one into the end zone, and maybe the offense will feel a little bit better about itself going into next week.
And if you're a coach taking that into next week, I know you're upset, but it is a little bit more respectable, somewhat of a moral victory, right?
Yeah, they probably won't say a lot of that to the team, but it is true. It's something for them to build on, and then they can call their mom and tell her, hey, Mom, for your fantasy points, we got you a few down the stretch.
And that'll cut the lead down to 28. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And look at this. They come right back with a big shot downfield. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27.
43 yards.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up four fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
Brings up
2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he's going to be close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Texans 17. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Herbert on 3rd down now. This pass caught at the 4. And the Titans are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. With the late lead, Herbert's going to throw it. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the result in the end, a Titans touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
at their own 20-yard line.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
The reception good for 7. It's third down.
To C.D. Lamb. It's a gain of 7. Makes it third.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. He's picked off at his own 46. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And that will be incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing. passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They're going to pass here with Herbert. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And down to the 15. A big play that time for the Titans. 49 yards.
First down, Titans.
So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, the ball back with Herbert. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
We dominate today.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us, we're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Tennessee, it'll be a 13th win on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Texans, things get even uglier now as they fall to 2-13. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.